Hello everyone, welcome back to the KMTRADERS channel. So this is the Crypto Weekly Analysis Volume 2. We're going to be looking into some of our ideas and thoughts for the, our pairs that we're looking into for crypto. So taking a look at Bitcoin, this one's going to be obviously the main leader that has a multiple effect on the other coins that we're going to take a look into. So what we looked at last week was price, potentially coming into the downside to the 28k mark. Now, as we can see, price is still moving sideways, so I still think that price still has the ability to do this. So pretty much I'm just waiting for this to happen, really. And there's not really too much of a evidence where price is likely to push higher. I also think that because price is moving sideways, that it still signifies a weak potential area in the market. So within this range here, what could potentially happen is we'll either continue to push lower, or we'll get a break towards the upside and then push lower. So we could see price go into the 45 region, so up to here for say around the 42 level, and then drop lower, and then we could have that pick up, or the other thing is that price just starts to continue to push lower. They're pretty much the the scenarios and the setups that I would be looking for Bitcoin, or to expect over the next few days or so for this week. And we're just staying cautious between this lower time frame wedge pattern here that we've got. So we can just formulate something like this, and we're just simply waiting for a breakout within this range. So all we have to do is just sit tight, really. And let me just get rid of this channel, as we spoke from last week, that we could expect price to channel within this range, but we can take it to a lower degree where we can take a look at this, how price is oscillating into a wedge pattern here. So we could expect some sort of significant price breakout at some point here, or we'll just extend, we'll create a further wider wedge, really. So all we need to do is just still stay patient for this Bitcoin and see exactly what will happen. But most likely, if I was to project a level, it would be to return into the 28k mark, and then we could signify a potential move after this. So we're going to have to still stay patient and see what happens over the next few days for Bitcoin. So moving on now to Ripple. With that being said, so what I was looking at for this was a potential move further higher, and we still see the price action doing that, so it's still quite fulfilling what we spoke about from last week. So what we can see, price is still slowly pushing higher. I think it has the ability to still push a little bit higher, potentially at the $1.2, and if we can go here, we'll be looking out for some significant weakness here if we can, and then we could see price drop into the 60-cent range, and then we could potentially see that next level in the market, or the next bull run, which I am anticipating. And that's similar linked with Bitcoin, as I did mention before. So that's pretty much what I wanted to say for Ripple. Let's take a look at Cardano. So yeah, for this, I still think that price has the ability to drop lower. I'm not really too convinced with this upside move, even though we are still even though price has still pushed up. If it was just to formulate something like this, simply that type of wedge pattern that we've got forming, we could potentially see some sort of manipulation here, or whether price wants to do that and then drop off, or if we just ultimately drop here, that's something that pretty much where we could expect price to do something of that nature. But ideally, I just want to see price come into the $1 range and lower, and then we can start to figure out where's the best buying opportunity. So again, with all of these coins, I am looking at the buying opportunity for all of these pairs, so that's why I won't necessarily discuss any selling opportunities, but obviously I will show them here, but I will obviously be more of a long-term investor in crypto personally anyway. So again, you take what you want from this analysis. You can manipulate the moves, like I said, up and down. So That's the beauty of trading. But anyway, I'm looking for potential sell-off opportunity here to come down into the $1 range, and we could be looking at some good buying opportunities after that. But I don't expect that to happen within this week. Could unfold over the next few weeks or so. So we'll just have to stay patient with that. So looking into a Litecoin. So again, a similar story here. What I am potentially looking out for again is a bit more of a bull run, a bit more of a push towards the upside before we can anticipate any moves towards the downside. So we'll get something like this where price pushes up just a little bit more and then pushes lower. It doesn't have to come all the way up here. I'm just saying, we could expect price to push up lower, but the main concept and the main idea of price action is that we want price to go lower before we start to consider any buying opportunities again. So this is all, like I said, linked in with the Bitcoin process. So yeah, still expecting price to drop just a little lower. Ethereum, again, this one I do think price has the ability to still drop lower, potentially into this range here. At 1,500 mark. Again, this is just a guess level here. It could obviously turn around any time, but as price starts to get closer and closer towards this level, we can start to anticipate some good buying opportunities. So just again, we just need to stay patient with this one, and if we were to draw that manipulation here, we can start to see we've got some sort of pattern forming here, nice up wedge, so we could get price to push up higher and then drop lower. So definitely staying aware of that. And as you can see, I'm not really bullish just yet, so I hope you can gather that understanding. So Dogecoin, again, looking out for price action to drop lower. Again, I do believe that this was my prediction of around the $1 mark, but I'm not really so focused on the levels for say. Just want to wait for price action to get to here first, rather than before I start calling all these levels, etc. Again, I'm not trying to predict anything, just really focusing on the price action, because that's all I really care about, really. So yeah, so looking at this in a wedge pattern formation, we can see price action really getting closer and closer towards this uptrend. So really just paying attention towards this uptrend here, and if we can start to see any manipulations towards the downside, we could potentially see price drop in and then take off as so. But yeah, we're getting really close towards potentially seeing if this will rocket or if we will get a push lower. So there's not really been that much for me to cover for this week with the crypto world. Again, I'm not really so focused on the the fundamentals or what's going on with the news, etc. Again, I'm just looking at this from a very technical standpoint, like I do mention with all of the similar process with the Forex world. But yeah, so that's my thoughts and processes that I'm going to take on with the crypto. But like I said, this is all stimulating around around Bitcoin. So I will keep on mentioning this, because if we do get some new viewers who listen in on this, and you don't know if they're a new trader or if you're an experienced or whatever trader you are, essentially the idea is that Bitcoin is pretty much the leader. So I'm using that as an essential guideline to coordinate some of my analysis on the smaller coins, because then we can start to put more of our value of our coins, of our pounds into investments, and start to take advantage of these smaller coins like Dogecoin and Cardano, Litecoin, Ethereum, and the ones that we've covered so far. So definitely keep an eye out over the next few days or so. Potentially we could start to see the run towards the downside happen within this week, potentially in the next few weeks. We're early into June, so we could potentially forecast June, July, where we start to see this turnaround in general for majority of the crypto market. So let's just see what happens, really. And like I said, we'll come back next week and give you some of our ideas. So again, I do appreciate your time for watching. If you haven't done so already, make sure you're subscribed. We do have a trading group that you can join. Again, this is a link in the description. The majority of it is Forex though. Again, I do appreciate your time for watching, and yeah, so that'll be all from us. We'll see you all in our next video for next week.